We're going to talk about creating crystal elixirs today. Now, generally when you're doing an elixir, you're going to have a blending of water and alcohol. Usually there's like a 70-30 blend of water and clear alcohol. Things like vodka would work with that. When I make elixirs, I don't use alcohol, and I don't do that for a few different reasons. I don't like the taste of an elixir with alcohol in it, and I don't like making elixirs with alcohol in case a person that I'm making it for is not able to consume alcohol for whatever reason. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you 2 quick ways to make elixirs with crystals. First and foremost, never ever put a stone in water that is not physically capable of being put in water, or becomes dangerous when you put in water, or is dangerous to consume the water that has touched the crystal. Always be safe. Safety first. There is a crystal list that I reference with this class on the Love and Light site that talks about crystal cautions. All of the crystals that I've chosen for the chakra colors in the back here are safe to use with water. I'm going to also show you the no-touch method. So I'm going to start with the no-touch. I have sunstone. Sunstone shouldn't be put in water and consumed because there is an aluminum aspect to sunstone, and that can be dangerous. So what you can do with that, we have a nice clear glass. We have a nice clear shot glass. Sunstone in the shot glass. You can fill your clear glass with water. You don't want to go too far. Shot glass, and then just drop it in. The idea is that the shot glass stays below the water line. There you can see the sunstone's not getting wet. The water is still being charged with the crystal. I would set this in a window, usually to catch sunlight for probably about 24 hours. That's my preference. So that's the no-touch method. You can use the no-touch method for any stones that might be questionable, unless you are dealing with stones that are highly toxic to handle things like asbestos, cinnabar, mercury, uraniums, realgar, orpiment, anything with a heavy metal content to it. You don't want to do the no-touch with that. In those cases, your best bet is to take like a clear quartz and intend the energies that you're trying to receive from those metals into the quartz, and then use the quartz in your elixir. So what I have lined up here is a series of chakra jars. Okay, I bought these jars with the intentions of making crystal elixirs for each particular chakra. I like the coloring, so I've got corresponding crystals to go with each one. What we're going to do is we're just going to fill each of these jars, add the crystal, and then these will all go and sit in a window for about 24 hours before they're ready to be used. It's just as simple as that. So let's start with water. I know you guys all know how to pour water, but we're going to watch me do it anyway because it's fun. Now when you're using water, you can use distilled water, you can use tap water, you can use spring water. It all kind of depends on what your preference is and how you're going to consume this. If you're going to drink it, I would recommend using tap water or distilled or filtered water rather than spring, unless you know that your spring is a nice clean safe spring to drink from. So that was our root chakra. Here we're doing our sacral. For the root chakra I used a carnelian. For the sacral chakra I'm using 2 very little orange calcites. For the solar chakra, I'm using a natural citrine, which is a much paler yellow than most of the citrine we're accustomed to seeing in the market, which is orange. Citrine comes in a variety of colors depending on how irradiated it's been, and usually the darker the citrine, the more man has been involved in irradiating it. So when I want to do something like this, I like to use that nice pale yellow citrine. For the heart chakra, I'm using aventurine. Now the things you're going to want to keep in mind as far as your jars and your crystals go. Make sure your jars are clean, especially if you're going to be drinking these. And make sure your crystals are clean too. You can take like some dish soap and, you know, make yourself a little bucket of water with some soap in it. And just kind of take your crystals out for a little bath, wash them up, rinse them off really good before you put them in this water. Because you don't want to take soap bubbles with. They may be fun, but they're no fun to taste. So for the throat chakra, I'm using a blue lace agate. I would usually use, for the throat chakra, I would usually use turquoise. But for the purposes of this example, because I want to put all of these in water, I'm using blue lace agate. Turquoise has some copper and pyrite elements to it that make it not a good stone to put in water and consume. And turquoise isn't a horribly stable crystal either, so you really don't want to get it wet. So for the third eye, I'm using amethyst. And for the last one, for the crown chakra, I'm just using quartz crystal. And again, because the jars are colored, you could use quartz crystal in each one and just use that as an amplifier to the colors. And you could still have chakra charged crystals that, or chakra charged crystal elixirs that way. But then, like I said, to make these guys really, really sing and really hum for me, I would put these in a window for about a day. Let them sit for 24 hours, get some sunlight, get some moonlight, see the phases. And then I would bottle them in little dark bottles, like little medicine bottles. You want them in something nice and dark and tight. And I'd label them and store them away. And if you have tiny chips of all these different types of stones, you can always include a tiny little chip inside of the medicine bottle as well to kind of keep that energy going. Same thing with little quartz crystals. You can put little quartz crystals in there too. So there you go. Chakra crystal elixirs. Go, make them, have fun, enjoy in good health.